right, so there we go. All right, so what do we have going on here?
Okay, so this is my prelude for Sunday, Gavotte. And the settings are flutes on the great, or the, what do you call that again? The first manual?
Sure. So one thing to note about is in this kind of a score is they're numbering the manuals Roman numeral 1 and Roman numeral 2. You don't actually have to consider the manual that they have described as the manual you must use. Instead, think of it as simply any two manuals that are in contrast with one another. They happen to be suggesting the great and the swell.
Okay.
So that's the first thing.
All right, so on the flutes, it suggests, yes.
What was your preset? Let's look at your preset that you had already set. Was it number 4?
Number 4.
Okay. So tell me about this one.
Well, I set it doesn't suggest anything for the pedal, but I only set the pedal because when I get over here, there's a place where I can use the pedal point for several measures.
Yeah,
so I can just hold that bass down.
Totally makes sense.
Okay. So then I went to the swell, and I was thinking about flute sounds. And that's what I set. I set the 4-foot octave, the Geigen principal, which is the 8, and the octave in 2.
Sure.
I did at one time also think about the flauto traverso.
So it's probably worth backing up, maybe just back up one step and remember the difference between sort of the two big classes of pipes or sounds.
Okay.
We have like principal foundation sounds, which tend to be scaled larger and be a fuller sound, and flutes, which tend to be scaled smaller and have a lighter kind of sound. And actually what we have here is the principal and the 4-foot octave, which is the octave above that principal.
So those are foundation.
Those are actually foundation stops
okay.
instead of flute stops. There's no reason you can't use them. I mean, there are no rules. But if we're looking for flutes, this is actually not it.
Okay.
So if we wanted all principals, that would be all principals or foundations. If we wanted all flutes, we would need the 8-foot bourdon and the traverso flute. And now we have all flutes. Just let's listen to the difference in those sounds. Here's your foundations. And here's your flutes. And you can hear that it's lighter. So here would be one suggestion for a way to even temper this to make it kind of an interesting variety of sound, rather than keeping the octave, the low member of the tonal triad, the octave, and the 2 octaves. Let's eliminate the middle octave, so we've got only the concert pitch plus 2 octaves above. Listen to that sound.
I like that one.
play the first 8 bars once on that sound. Except here, start it on the flutes. So they're suggesting Roman numeral 1, which is the flutes. So that would be up, yes. The sound that we just created.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and you can contrast that with, if we did fill in that middle octave with the 4-foot, this is what it would sound like. What do you think? Which one do you like?
Good question.
And maybe we wait to answer that question until we've looked at the other manual, the contrasting manual.
Yeah. Okay.
So the contrasting manual is asking also for flutes. And actually, if we take this for its word, it is really only asking for 8 and 4, so that would be one option. But yeah, like that could be the option. Then on the other manual, to go again with only flutes instead of principals, 8-foot flute, 4-foot flute. This is actually part of the principles because it's an octave. So there's really no way, there is no 2-foot flute on the grate, on this instrument.
Okay.
Okay? So, you know, that's one of the reasons why I thought to switch your manuals makes sense, because there is only an 8 and 4 there, and whereas over here there's an 8, 4, and 2. So you've actually just reversed your manuals. You see you see how that works?
Uh-huh.
So just for contrast's sake, try on the grate that same thing at the beginning. And it's fuller because it's on the grate, and generally everything that's on the grate is
Full.
is fuller sounding than the other divisions.
Okay.
So let's try putting some of that together, and maybe have you do the first 8 bars, and go ahead and take the repeat. But one of the ways I do this is actually to change manuals on the repeat instead of doing the entire opening section twice on the same manual.
And you
So I would stay on the swell all the way through there,
Okay.
go back and switch to the grate, and then switch to the new sound here, rather than
Okay.
2 times through on the same manual. Does
So
that make
then
sense?
I have another question then.
Okay.
Because we've got the swell set over here. When I switch to the grate, do I need to put the swell to the grate?
Nope. Just switch to a new sound.
Okay. So I'm going to do swell.
What's
Swell,
the flat
swell,
in front of that C for?
I don't know. I noticed that because I think I thought it was an E.
Oh, sure. Let's get rid of that.
I noticed that when I was playing it before.
Sure.
Okay, so now I'm up here, right?
Yep. And now the next manual down, go back to the beginning.
Yeah, I like that.
Now let's have you start right in there first time and jump back for the repeat, and let's change the sound. So start up in the top manual right there.
Am I in the right? Yes, I'm in the
Sure,
right place.
wherever you want to start, somewhere there. I kind of like that contrast even better, because that's using that 8-foot and 2-foot sound with the 4-foot removed.
Okay.
But you know, it really is.
Yeah, I like
it's a
it.
matter of opinion.
Well, I like it. I like that. And then yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's good. I like that. Okay. So,
And so if you like that, then I would say we should
let's
save
save
it.
it.
So then how do you save it?
Okay. Well, let's see. I already have M4 and 4 on, so if I want to save it, I think I have
If you
to
wanna
turn this.
If you want to keep what's on 4, then you have to choose a different number besides 4. But if you don't mind overwriting 4,
We'll override it.
then all you need to do is just press the setter and then press 4. There, should
Like
be saved.
that.
Now cancel everything and let's check and see if it's saved. Now go ahead and press 4 and let's see if we get what we wanted.
It did.
Sure looks like it.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right. So we've got that.